from there, I let you guys play around. So you guys can feel, right? I want you guys to feel the movement. I want you guys to feel the control points. And hopefully fail a few times. Not so much fail as in I never get it, but oh man, that just didn't feel quite right. There's little things that we can do to make it feel a little bit better each and every time. When I'm in the control of just the shin on shin guard here, and I'm trying to and if I'm rear naked choking his leg, I'm now entirely locked that leg with no maneuverability of this arm. Okay? This arm needs to be able to come down, block a knee if I have to. This is my option. Why I gable grip here is because at the initial point of contact, I want that control. I don't want to just be like, yeah. I don't want to have that extended. If he goes to do that with this, if he goes to do that with this, it starts to break it down. Okay? So initial point of control is this. I'm in, I'm gable grip, but I still have this option arm if I have to. Okay? Like if he's like, I see his face down here, I can like give him a quick shot if I want. It's an option arm, that's why it's an option. It's jiu-jitsu, don't punch. You can punch harder if he's helping you out, but no one else, okay? So we're here. I'm in, as I fall, I'm falling to my hip and shoulder, and I'm keeping this one up high. Okay? Now, as I straighten that, it falls and this hand goes to the knee. I need to straighten this one all the way. Halfway straightening it is not gonna bring this foot into my armpit. I want this foot into the armpit. If it's fully wrapped and you're having a hard time coming into your single leg X and it's looking like this, just take that out. Pinch your elbow to your ribs. And it's the same control. This can lead into like single leg, or straight leg locks and stuff like that. So can this. And this is a pinch. Now I'm going to throw it up, now that the forearm's out of the way, these toes to the outside, okay? That's just a future point for single leg X. If they're on the inside, he's got the schema lock. If you've ever been in schema lock, it comes on really quick and it hurts because it pops a lot of stuff. This, his main thing is like he can throw it off or whatever he wants, okay? He's not the schema locking, but get that forearm out of your way. If it's blocking, if it doesn't hinder you, keep it in. That's perfectly fine too. If it's in, up. As long as it's not hindering your ability to get your hips off the mat and your groin to the back of his leg. Okay? If it's down, that's his defense and he's gonna get up. He does a wiggle and it all falls apart. This, right? Much more control. Okay, so one more time, just the entrance, this side. I only do it to one leg because I'm only good on one leg. Just so you guys know, it's always going to be on the same leg. It also helps me write my notes. So that's it. Black belt on one side, maybe 3-stripe white belt on the other. It's just part of the deal. Okay, in, as I fall, I'm here, and this extends up. Then it extends all the way. Down, block, up. And I want my hips up, and if I can, that heel in the air. That heel's in the air, it means that all his weight's on this leg. And like you take it over here. Move around. Right? He's not moving around that far. And then I can do front stop after that, but we're gonna go into next. Make sense? 3, 2, 1. Questions, concerns, playing around with it, feeling alright? Any areas that need a little bit more explanation or detail?
You talked about lifting the heel on that trapped foot. Are you driving your hips up to get that lift?
Yes, I'm essentially bridging into his leg. If I'm here, he's flat, he's got a lot of mobility, he's got a base. What I'm doing is I'm driving the groin into the back of the calf, like a bridge off of his hip.
Oh, okay.
So now he does this little hop thing, and it's mine. If it's down, and I'm not doing anything active, he can move around, has good base, good stability. When we're here, as a partner on top, try to maintain standing. a good base, okay? If you're falling down each time, sometimes it happens. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you're off balance and you're like, oh, I'm going down. But that's entirely what we're doing. It's essentially a sweep from here. But you can maintain a good standing posture, good balance from there, so that I can come in. This ankle or this heel is driving down, is pulling me up. Essentially what I'm doing here, this heel pulls me up. But if you want to, I like to say it's lazy, but it's just more effective because I want to keep my energy. Rather than going heel, pull in, I just shoot up and then clamp knee over top. It just adds a little bit. It's just easier to roll up rather than to pull myself with my heel. Okay? And it locks it in a little bit more. Now, what we're going to do from here is I'm going to block. I'm going to drop this one down. This is the main detail, okay? Or this is the main leg. This is main course. I need this one behind the knee. This one coming in, that's the dessert. This is what I need. I don't need it, but it's good to have. If you like dessert, it's good to have. But this is what I want, okay? Yeah, we're doing it, okay? Now, if he goes to move around, right, I have control. I still have control, but I can relieve my hand here, right? I have a lot, he's floating. If you see, he's not that light. Okay? So, going up, block, drop, right to that knee pit. I'm hooking with my foot. Shoelaces in, hook. From here, I'm going to bring my top leg down, and just the foot comes in. Okay? A lot of new people to X-Guard, they go like this, then they do this, and then they do that. Just bring that foot in. Just boom. And I want it high. I want it high to that hip. I want this one behind the knee pit. Okay? This adds a lot of control. I'm in modified X. And I can stretch them out a little bit more, and I can make them a little bit more uncomfortable. Then their legs start to shiver.
Just as far as like positional thing, there is a knee on either side of my leg here. For anybody that's X-Guards the first time here today, think about this. Anytime that these drop opens one side, just this is one of the biggest cues I found helps with learning this position for the first time. If both your knees are on the same side as somebody's leg, we're not in X-Guard. I don't know what we're doing.
We're in Carter passing my Carter.
Yeah.
Okay? So I want one knee on going back, one knee going to, so on the small back, and building it. That works too. Okay, so here, up, I have that clamp, block, drop, keep this, down and around. If this foot can't quite get in because I'm not flexible enough, I extend this bottom leg. Then around. If he's really tight with that one, right, and this one's like, oh, yeah, and then he's trying to pass or whatever, extend. Yeah. Right, I have a ton of control here. This knee is at the back of the thigh, this one's in, and I'm pulling my knees this way. Bunch of details, but let's just get into X-Guard and play around. First one on top, try to be as stable as you can. Okay, try to stay standing. Okay, so we're playing around with it, we're getting into X, modified X. Modified X is when you have that leg. I see a lot of awesome stuff happening and playing around. That's what I like to see is people playing around with it, failing a few times, understanding where there's little things that can be improved. When we're in,
I love seeing it.
I do. I love seeing people fail because it gives opportunity to learn and grow off of that. Lots of my X-Guard stuff comes from competition and modifying it because I failed at certain points throughout it. Where you're like, yeah, I'm an X-Guard, this is awesome. Then I forget to control a point and the dude passes and arm bars me, and then I'm like, that was embarrassing. Theory in competition, don't embarrass myself. And go after the sub beyond all points. So I don't like points, I go after the sub. So there's a little thing of my understanding of competition. But when you're there, and if you fail, that means that you're able to learn, you're able to grow. If you're getting perfect every single time, that's awesome, but it's very hard to grow off of that. So, we're going to go from that single leg And I can tell you that that happens in competition when you're like, yeah, I got that leg, and then that knee comes across. You go, yeah, it actually came into my neck. It wasn't fun, okay? So bring it down. So if he goes to try to do that here, that's my leg, all right? So come up, lock, drop, around. This foot that comes in wants to go high, up to the hip. Think big toe to the hip, okay? If it's down with these two, I've now given him the perfect access to block my X guard. He just pushes down, now I got nothing, okay? I want up here, so that if he goes to try to do that, he's putting both hands on that one leg. Perfect. So, behind the knee pit, or on the knee pit, sorry, behind the knee, up to the hip with my big toe, okay? I like to have, in modified X, I like to have this knee touching and keeping control here. Monitoring that leg. If it's out like old school X guard that you see in like the old school Marcelo Garcia book, I don't know if anyone understands that reference, but this is how I first learned X guard, was from the Marcelo Garcia book. It's white, okay? And it comes out like this. I'm like, man, this is awesome. The thing with this one coming out, this leg has a little bit more mobility. It's a little bit, yeah, it can move. I bring this knee in, and this is in the Marcelo Garcia DVDs. Okay? So we're gonna work our way up to like the BJJ Fanatics, but right now we're at the DVDs where this comes in. Okay? So book works. DVDs better. Because now I have control of that knee, he floats, I can hold him up here. What's he gonna do? He's gonna go down eventually, okay? Yeah, he's gonna punch me in the nose. Happens, okay? So, from here, I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna grab the inside, or the tendon of the leg, bring this elbow in and drop it to the mat. And come around, okay? I see a lot of people going, I can go to full X from here, and they do this. Oh, guess how I learned that one? This is from competition, and the guy was like, I was like, oh, I'm there. Oh, and then it was like armor. Okay, so modified X, I'm here. I have this one in behind. They kind of sit on it. That's the feeling that you should have, is that knee should be pushing in so much that they're kind of sitting on it, so you can do this. Bird, kind of jump them around. Okay, boom, here. Grab. Elbow around. Okay? Is that too much? Can I go into a little bit more? Sweet. From here, I don't want to be flat on my back and crunching his toes. Okay? I would suggest sitting up, having an arch in your back, and grabbing his calf. Now don't give yourself a crutch. Don't go knee and up. Keep this one out, palm up, shoulder to ear to shoulder to clamp that leg, okay? Grabbing that knee works, but a lot of people get focused on that and they go like this and they're like, yeah, I got that leg. And then that, yeah, this happens or that shin comes across your neck. If I'm up here, same thing. Okay? And that's just this clamp. Shoulder to ear to shoulder on that calf. So I'm up, I have my arch back, and I'm here. Move around. Yeah, okay? So now I have full control. I want to have them fully controlled. My hips under theirs, okay? This knee comes under their butt, so I have that one pulled. And then he does next one.
Travis, are you doing anything with that hand? Once you pinch it, like is it just...
I will, but I don't want it to be a crutch at the beginning, okay? Learn to control doing this, shoulder to ear, around the calf, and then we'll play around with that hand when it does. Where I go with it, it's just when I say grab here, everyone grabs in, and then they forget everything else, and then, yeah, you start to diminish it a little bit. I personally really love the ear and shoulder control over here, because it leads into so many things, and also gives you an option hand. Yeah?
Let's see that one more time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, here, drop, stand, walk, up. So that's my single leg X. in, keep this knee into the back of the thigh, okay? Grab those tendons, and if you like the guy, just kind of grab them. If you feel like it's harder, pinch them. Heels plug in there, okay? Elbow, around. If you're having a hard time, again, extend them. Oh.
That was your fault.
That was, okay? So now I got that leg, now I'm up, now I can control, I can do this rocking back and forth thing, keeping control. Yeah? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're playing around with it. Everyone's feeling that little bit of control? Yeah? Feeling alright? I really like grabbing that calf, especially since his shin is a little bit sore. He let me know that, so it's going to be even meaner. That ear to shoulder to ear, I'm up around that calf, bottom of the calf or a little bit higher. It allows me to control his knee a little bit more, and it allows me to pinch and rock up with him, okay? Rather than having to sit up if I'm extending my legs, it allows me to control it and move on. There's a few other points there that I like to dig into before we dig into some of the other entries and some of the other fun stuff that we go through. That when we're there, I highly recommend getting control, getting your legs involved, okay? Your legs involved because of the big muscles. You're relying solely on like grip strength, arms and stuff, you're gonna burn out. Use the big muscles in your legs to accentuate everything. And don't overextend, okay? That's why we're going into full X. I like modified X because I'm long. I can extend his leg, I can start to manipulate him very easily. If you're shorter, full X start is probably the better choice because you can maintain some bend in your knees, you can extend them without fully extending yourself, which benefits everyone. Just standing. So here, then boom, okay? From here, just in a modified X, I can extend them, but keep the bend in my knees. If you're short, just move that way a little bit, boom. If you're extending them and your knees start doing this, it becomes weak, it becomes easy to collapse, it doesn't help you at all, okay? That's another point of keeping this foot in your armpit when you're in modified X. If I've extended them like this isn't anything. I'm not getting any benefit from his foot at my hip. Yeah, he's just in the crush. Okay, so I want, for modified X, this pinched in, and I can lock it with a full grip here, or just elbow and pinch in here, but I can extend them and I can keep them controlled in a modified X. I can go into that full X from there and keep them controlled. Drop the feet, okay? I can go here and extend and have all this control without losing anything. Now this is where I want to go to, and we're just going to play around with it for like 5 minutes maybe, but I want to be able to rock my partner, okay? I'm going to clamp onto this calf, onto the shin, so hard that when I push him that way, I do a sit-up with him. He should be pulling me up. I use the big muscles to extend him that way up at an angle. It should kind of bring him up and clamp that foot. All the while, I'm clamped onto this. If I'm flat on my back and I'm trying to do that, I'm just wasting muscle. I'm not going to be sitting up with him. What's going to happen is it's going to look like this. Right? I'm the laziest person in the room. By that, I don't want to exert energy. There's 4 more matches after this. It's the way I think of everything. It's a round robin. This is my first match. There's 4 more after it. Okay? 4 more after it means that I need to exert less energy. I'm up, clamped, I extend them, and I should sit up to my elbow. Okay? Then I'm going to bring it back in. So I roll backwards, I use the clamp between my feet to pull that leg back in. Then I extend it. Then I pull back in. Then he gets tired and he pulls over. Okay? I'm going to the other side. So, extend it, boom. Here, up, drop, all this fun stuff. I go, one other point. Going from modified to full X, I grab, at the knee, so it allows me room for this elbow to drop back. And it's as if I'm elbowing the mat through between us. I don't swim it under and I don't do any of this. It's gonna get crushed, okay? I bring it in, drop it, up, okay? From here, I clamp, extend my legs, walk my elbow.
Whoever parked the no parking signs are getting the hell out or move to the back.
I'm not a color guard. It's probably.
Which one's your parker, right?
Oh, while they're doing that, you guys want to play around 3, 2, 1. If your car is parked somewhere, a couple things off that, the extension. I want to extend both my legs. I don't want to extend like this, but I want to extend them up and still keep a bit of a bend in my leg and extend them out at the angle. Like 45 degrees is a good angle to base off of. This won't work. This is very hard if you're in normal X. Okay? Going straight up and doing like that nice golden angle for reverse X, which is later on. But for normal, we're going out at that angle, and all we're doing is learning that rock. Okay? That rock allows me to manipulate that far leg so I can bring it in. And I can do one takedown. Okay? We're going to that, and then we'll play around it after that. But when we're going through it, we can just get into that X guard your normal way. I just want to jump into it right here. This one comes around. I extend my legs this way. Okay? I keep tension out with my feet. Extend them. Okay? Why I do this is so I can learn to control this leg with this pinch. Also, if I can't reach that foot. If I can't do this, and I'm like, oh, and I grab his hair and I pull him in, yeah, maybe. But I want that foot tight between my butt cheeks. Okay? Why? Because then I control that far leg hold. So I'm here, he's trying to keep it away, I can't quite grab it. I'm gonna extend him and rock up to my elbow. Okay? From here, I'm gonna pull him back in, and I'm gonna pull that leg in between my butt cheeks. Okay, I pull it in, boom. Now, I can grab it. Okay, move around a bit. Right? That's his only leg that he has a lot of movement on. This controls it. Now, I'm gonna do the exact same extension this way. Okay, at that 45. But that leg's not going anywhere. So, I'm here, extend. Now, I'm in a beautiful position for guard passing, leg locks, wherever you want to go. I keep my legs are in an X here. I keep this knee up high. This shin on my neck so that I can either pass around, take it back, come up, in, around. I can just wrap it up through. We can play around with a lot of different areas. But that's why we're doing that extension. We're learning to play with his weight, and then learning to play with pulling that leg in so I can capture it. Because one of the hardest things to do, or hardest things for me to get is that leg, but extending it and pulling it back in, then I extend it. Okay? I capture it and extend it. So boom, here, up, drop, through. Grab this calf. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Okay? Grab this. If I'm down here on this ankle, extending him is going to be very hard, and I'm going to be using way too much muscle, and he's probably not going to move that much. Up here, I extend him and I come up with him like that. Okay? Then I'm going to pull him back in, aiming for that leg to come between my butt cheeks here. Grab it. Okay? Boom. Then I extend my legs exactly the same way, and I use him to pull me up. I'm attached to this leg. I need this leg. I want this leg. I want whatever your guard passing. Awesome. I now have a pressure pass straight that way. If you're white belt in like IBJJF, I'm going to take this out and I'm going to go straight leg lock or whatever. If you're me, wrap this around. We got heel hooks and fun stuff from there. Okay? There's a crazy amount of options, but we need to get there first. We need the control before we can get into these fun positions. sense? When we're going through this, when you're like taking them down, just take a quick look. Don't smash into the group next to you. My biggest thing, the most important person here is your training partner. Okay? If everyone has that mentality, we're all going to maintain a safe training community. Make sense? 3, 2, 1.
Destroy the computer.
It's one that I really like. There's 3 that I use very often. This is one of them. Another one is from half guard with a butterfly hook. Okay? We're going to explain the position a little bit, and then we're going to go into it. Half guard with a butterfly hook, you see a lot of like the Danaher guys, Greg Jones, Lachlan Gill start to play around with this. It's awesome. It's really good. I've used it in competitions quite a bit, just because I got these long legs and I like X-Guard in the box. It works. Okay. Going over the position a little bit. This way. Okay. Half guard is a great position if you use it correctly. Now, when I'm here, I'm not just like flat on my back and being like, hey, I have half guard and I can play around this position. I'm getting smashed all day. Okay, yeah, he's getting it. I want to be on my side with frames. Okay, this is for the newer people. Get on your side, get your frames in so that you're relatively safe. If I'm here and you're supposed to move around and stuff, right? I can maintain this distance. I can keep myself from getting flattened. When I'm flattened and if I don't have a hook or anything like that in, I'm probably hitting my guard pass unless you have an amazing half guard, which some people do. I would highly recommend being on my shoulder, on my side, keeping my forearm driving into his neck, and this hand closer in, right? If I'm trying to do this is where like Doris chokes or passes happen, okay? Yeah. I want to keep here and here and keep them away. Now, spin, 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 spin. Okay, so I have this. I'm going to bring my butt out. This is going to insert into a butterfly. Okay? I keep my knee out. I need to keep the knee out because if I insert that butterfly hook and he does that, obviously he's passing. Okay? If knee is out and he tries to do that, there's a walk. Perfect. Okay? From here, I'm going to dive this hand like a deep half. Okay? Who's familiar with deep half here? How many people? Okay, a little bit. Okay. All I'm doing is I'm going palm up, grabbing, and I'm pulling this knee to my ear. Okay? That's the idea that I want. Whether I get there or not fully, the probability is little that I get the exact position I want. But I'm gaining the position with a butterfly. Okay? So we're here, we're blocking, I shrink out, I insert my butterfly hook. Now my butterfly hook, I want active toes. I don't want this, I want him on my shoelaces and pulling in. Active, okay? Don't get lazy with your hooks. Sticky feet. I want those feet to not lose contact. He moves that leg up or whatever, those go up with him, okay? That way I can do this fun stuff. I can keep moving around. I want sticky active feet, okay? So half guard, here, we're blocking, okay? Out, butterfly hook. Now, I'm gonna dive this hand in between my hip and his knee, with the goal of going in so deep that my ear is almost at his knee, okay? From there, this hand is gonna start to push. Okay? I'm going to start to go under and shuffle my hips under. Now I have the foundation for an X-ray. All I have to do is extend him up. Okay? Boom. If he's nice, he's going to land on his feet. This one just comes in. Okay? I'm in X-ray now. And when I'm coming, okay? So I'm here, walking out, butterfly hook. Go under, I have this block, and I'm going to switch it so I can shovel under. I want my hips under. That allows me to extend them up and bring this one in. I extend them up, and their natural reaction is to plant feet. I need to shovel my hips under. Okay, so let's get the fundamentals down. Down, okay. Okay. I'm in, I block, I dive, and I'm hooking here. Okay? I push them this way so I can shovel my hips under, or directly under them. Now I extend my hips up, and then I bring this one in. Okay? Now I'm in my next turn. So this is half with the butterfly hook. Shovel your hips under. A lot of people get stuck. Just back, one more time. Okay? A lot of people get stuck here, and they're just like, I can't lift them. I need to shovel my hips under. That's just pulling. That. Okay? I go from right hip to underneath. Does that make sense? Then I extend up. Next. Anything?
Yeah, just if we're doing a half guard here, just check your half guard here. Okay? This is something we see so commonly, right? Butterfly hooks in, why isn't it working? We need this good frame, so just keep your partner honest here a little bit. Put a little bit of forward pressure on. I have my hands back just to make it a little bit easier to see. But like, let's make this a real thing as opposed to like this is garbage. This doesn't make sense. Okay? A little bit of forward pressure. Half guard is 50-50 depending on who's better at half guard, right? Whether we're a better passer or a better guard player, that's what's going to decide what happens in half guard. So keep your player honest.
There, then play around with this guy. Pass, play around, do whatever you want. Sure. Yeah? 3, 2, 1. Generally, the size discrepancy. One thing that really sucks is if I don't get my hips under them. And if I can't do that, it is extremely hard to lift anyway. Okay? Even if I'm slightly askew, if someone's being an active training partner or an opponent or whatever it is, my hips aren't under them, I'm not lifting them. If my hips go too far, there's other options, but I want my hips right under them. Okay? I want my hips under their hips. It allows me to use the big muscles, core muscles, and all that fun stuff to lift them up. You will feel it when you're doing it correctly. They will feel light. You'll be like, oh, you look like a big guy, but you're not. You can get under them. You need to shovel your hips under. If I'm slightly askew off of this, and forearm across neck. Okay? They're not building muscle. It's like they're like these guys, right? You can't build muscle on those. Use that to your advantage. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes a forearm across the neck. And if you do, well, it's part of your deal. It's just sadistic. Okay? So I'm here. I have this block. I'm going to shrimp out so I can get this leg in. Okay? Some people can do it from here. Okay? Some people can get that leg in. It's dexterity. Perfectly fine. But if you're like, oh, I can't get this foot in, shrimp out a little bit. Get this foot in, shrimp back in. Yeah, pull them back in and I'm going underneath. Dive here. Push on those. I'm slightly askew. Hard. It's not that heavy, but I can't move him. Okay? I go under him. He's extremely light. I need my hip shovel to go under to make him light. If I'm slightly here, those legs aren't moving. Here, my hips are directly under him. I can pop up. Excellent. Boom. Okay? He can do this weird frog thing with his legs. I'm still an X-guard, so we're going to be taking him down. One way or another. Getting into X-guard. But if you're struggling or you're feeling like, oh, you're heavy, bring your hips right under them. If you can bring your hips under them, I guarantee you.
If you bring your hips under your players, you want under their legs.
I bring my hips directly under theirs if I can. Then I will use my legs to do the lifting. Good question, but
So, just start walking around the clock. So something I've always felt is, like, I like to think about directions of things, not always this shuttle thing, I think about directions. He's gonna take me directly to the side. Think about it. my weight's on my hands, it's not in my feet. Okay? So it's in my feet. Okay? And then we're in a different position.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point. Put their weight on their hands. Okay? Yeah, we have two different ways of thinking about it, which is awesome for you guys. You guys can learn two different ways, two different vocabularies, two different languages, right? If I can put his weight on his hands, everything else is really light. It allows us to be manipulated, managed, and all that fun stuff. If everything is over top of my one leg that's trying to lift, I'm not going to do it. Okay? Boom, here, up, play around from here.
Go again. If I do nothing here, just have her.
Boom.
Okay, if I do nothing here,
Boom.
right, I'm gonna face plant or we get into that like weird roll, ball, whatever.
And I'm going to win that. But
If we like, I want to base out here, or he's, go ahead,
if he's here, boom.
right?
So I'm going to win.
Unless I have a plan, there's not really, it's not practical for me to not base out there unless there's some sort of a plan I have for that.
Not even that is a good one. Okay, so try it again. Shovel under or get a different weight on your hands, however you think of it. Get your hips right under theirs. The next time. Yeah? 3, 2, 1. Alright, we got like 20 minutes left. We're gonna go into some reverse X stuff. I've taught you 2 entries, okay? And you can use either one of them to get in normal X strike, okay? I like to play reverse X off in normal X. There's another way that I play, but we're gonna stick with just the one for now. I don't want to like, just smash you with a ton of information that you lose it. If you get anything out of these, think about the control points. Okay, having that knee behind his head, or pulling your feet out, capture that leg, shoveling your hips underneath, getting your weight in an area that you're able to move and manipulate them. So whatever entry you want, whether it's the half guard with butterfly hook or the shin on shin guard, either one, they're both great. But now we're going to get into reverse X. Reverse X, it involves being able to manipulate your partner's weight to come into like a 411 saddle, inside Sangaku, whatever name you want to call it. I like numbers, so 411 it is. So that's what we're going to play, okay? So we're just going to work off of whatever entry you want. Play with whatever one suits you best. If you want to look like me, a filthy butt scooter, perfect. Go with this one. Your half guard player, go play one. Just practice to get some reps in, okay? Boom, down, stand, up, all this fun stuff. Drop this in, okay? I made a normal exercise, right? From here, I do want to get his weight to go back and forth. The reason is one, to get my reverse X, I would need his weight on that leg initially, okay? So from here, I'm going to bring this one under, my other one, and bring that one up, okay? So the top leg goes under, because this is icing on the cake. It can move. If I move this one first and try to bring it up, he's out. Thanks. Okay? I keep that one there until I've replaced it. Then I can bring that one up. Okay? Now, I'm going to shift his weight onto this leg. Why I do that? I want this leg nice and light so I can manipulate it. Now I'm going to bring it back and around. If I try to do it with a standing partner, it's going to be very hard. Okay? So from here, all I'm going to do is I can reach up, I can grab, and I can start to off balance him. Like kicking this leg that way, pulling his butt that way, it off balances him. I can do the same movement from here with a knee. I hit him with his knee, so if he stands up again, like a good partner. And I do this, okay? I have this, I hit him with this knee. I can get that light, and then I can go into my reverse X. Either way, I'm I'm getting into reverse X, okay? So, move here. Now, a lot of his weight's on his hands, making his legs and hips light. I'm going to bring my legs in. I'm going to do a little half circle. Am I actually going to do the half circle? Probably not. But that's the way I want my hips to move. Okay, I come out, up, grab, and sit up. For those that want to play around with 411, it's this guy. Saddle, all the other names. There's like 10 names. I don't do them. I do 4 of them. Okay. We'll play around from this angle. We'll do it from multiple angles because there's a lot going on. So, if he's here, you want to bump down from normal X. Back knee bumps his knee, or bumps his thigh. Okay. Now his weight's here. 1, 2. Okay. This is reverse X. I'm going to bring his weight up and around. Up. Extend my legs. Trap behind this knee. Extend. It's fun. It can be nasty. You get a lot of heel hooks off of this position. But I need to get into control first. I'm big on control. If you haven't heard that word about a million times, I haven't done my job. Okay? Control, then break legs, then have fun. Okay? Or control first. One more time. And then we'll move this way. So boom. In. Okay? If I want to reverse max here, I go pop one, switch. Okay? Now from here, I can grab, bump them down this way. Okay? This one kind of kicks him in the butt. That's the idea. From there, up, extend, my hips are off the mat, and come down. Your hips at all. That's one more key point before we get into this. Sorry, I know there's a lot of key points, but I need my hips off the mat. Here, okay? His hands are down. If I try to go into 411 here, my hips on the mat, not gonna work. I bring my knees to my chest, extend, and I rock up. Okay? Knees to chest, extend your legs. It's like hip spike here. You're going for like a triangle or anything like that. Hip spike up, foot, leg, break it. Then blend Lucas. Yeah? 3, 2, 1. I love X-guard. X-guard is an awesome position. It's kind of died out. You don't see too much of it, but you see a lot of it from the half guard, the butterfly hook. You'll watch like Gordon Ryan's getting into it. Greg Jones dominating with it when he wants to. I love it. It's a great technique. And as I said, I've been doing this and studying this since the way you learn jiu-jitsu was through books. And don't get me wrong, there's a ton of awesome information in books, right? In all the instructionals, that's how it used to be done. And if you're a visual learner and you don't mind reading, and that's how you learn, it's a great way. If anyone does loves Dan or her videos, awesome. If you don't, as you listen to them, you're just like, man, you've explained the exact same thing 100 times in a row. I am going to fall asleep. That also happens, where you can read a book and you're like, oh, I got it, cool, move on. Okay? That's a bonus to it. DVDs, again, old school technology, probably not relevant anymore unless you have like an Xbox 360 to play on, another irrelevant technology. But it's all information, okay? And if you want more X-Guard, I highly recommend Marcelo Garcia. That dude is like the originator of it. Like he's the guy that was the little guy that dominated with it in his time. And he still uses it. When you watch him sparring, he still uses it. It's amazing to watch him do it. Because one, he was like the giant killer. He was like, yeah, hi. He's taking on like 350-pound guys and jumping on the back from an X-Guard and choking them out, beating them like a guy slamming him and stuff. Watch his stuff. X-Guard is a great technique. He is one of the all techniques are not original, but he is one of the ones that brought it to the forefront and used it in an amazing fashion. And he did a study of him bring up your game in this aspect. Any questions on the X-Guard or anything that I did? Or is it too much information? We're good? It's a lot of information, and all I want is for everyone to get at least a little bit out of it, okay? A little bit out of it means getting a control point out of it, getting an entry out of it, getting something. Nobody learns everything out of every seminar, but take home something. Okay? Take home whatever it is, whether it's the control points of your legs, keeping that shoulder to ear control. I didn't go over any of the knee control because that's the icing on the cake. It's not necessary. It is useful, but this is more. Okay? Keeping that calf control of the ear to shoulder. So, hopefully it worked out well. And I want to say thank you guys so much for the food donations. It's awesome. Thank you, Lucas, for hosting, for bringing it in, and giving to a community. If you know our club, Lucas's club, all the clubs, this is why we wanted to do it. This is why we wanted to come up here, is because I know how much you do for the community. And yeah, it's awesome to see that. And it's awesome for you guys to come out and support a great cause, especially this close to Christmas. When, hey, as Lucas said, everybody uses it. It's not just like a few people. When I was growing up, that's how we got our Christmas dinners, like food banks. So it's an awesome support for the community. So thank you guys so much for that.
I'm not going to make this about me, but I got a bunch of free stickers for everybody. I run camps. I'm not going to tell you all about it, but come grab some free stickers.
Okay,
It's cheap advertising.
Thank you guys, everyone for coming out. Again, thank you Travis Star guys for coming from Canmore and teaching some good X-Guard stuff. Again, appreciate all the food donations, guys. It's a big thing. I know the home food bank always is struggling to supply. If you're ever around Tuesdays or Thursdays, there's a fucking line down the road with people trying to get food, okay? So, again, greatly appreciated. Thank you for everyone who made the journey and trip out here from Silver Lake to Red Deer to Black Falls to wherever else I've missed. I know Ken was videotaping, so I don't know if he has some stuff, if there's some stuff you want to go over, please reach out to Ken. He probably can chop up a couple clips and post them up there for us. Besides that, I'd love for us to all get one big picture, and then without the food, and then we'll do one where we'll get all the food right in the middle, and we'll get us all together for another picture. And then after that, if you want to stick around and beat each other up, you're more than welcome to. If you have to hit the road and get going, we understand. Okay? Besides that, everyone, thank you again for coming out. We'll do a big old handshake as it comes through.
Weird handshake.
Yeah, you're right.